She looked me dead in the eye and said, "Stop begging for money." At the Thanksgiving table, every single person went silent. And I smiled. Little did she know, I had already planned the perfect way to make her feel exactly what she put me through. If you've ever been humiliated in front of everyone, or felt powerless while someone treated you like you owed them the world, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and comment below if you've ever dreamed of the perfect revenge, because today, you're about to see it happen. Thanksgiving has always been a complicated time in our family. On paper, we were the perfect, close-knit siblings. The kind of family that shows up in Instagram posts with smiling faces and plates stacked high with food, but underneath, tension simmered like a pot left too long on the stove. And I, the youngest sister, had been quietly carrying a burden for years, financially supporting my older sister. It started innocently enough. She had just moved into her first apartment after college, and I wanted to help. 7 years ago, she was broke, struggling to pay bills. And I thought I was doing a kind thing. Every month, like clockwork, I'd send her payments, small at first, then growing as the years passed. I wanted her to feel secure, to chase her dreams without worrying about rent or groceries. But dreams can turn into entitlement faster than you think. She didn't ask anymore. She demanded. And when I hesitated even slightly, she would guilt me. She had mastered the art of manipulation, a skill I ignored because I wanted to believe in family loyalty. This Thanksgiving was different. I had been feeling exhausted, drained, and frankly, invisible. For months, she had been asking for more money, for luxuries she could afford but wanted on my dime. And now, sitting at the table with our parents watching, she did it again, but this time with a twist. "Stop begging for money," she snapped, her words sharp enough to cut glass. She leaned back in her chair, smirking. Everyone froze. Even the turkey, it seemed, had paused in midair. My parents' eyes flickered between us, unsure if they should intervene or pretend nothing happened. I could feel my heart pounding, my stomach twisting, the familiar mix of anger and humiliation rising like a tide. She didn't know it yet, but she had just handed me the spark I needed. I smiled. Calmly, slowly. Because revenge isn't about rage, it's about control. And for the first time in years, I had it. Over time, my generosity became her expectation. A few weeks earlier, I had realized something crucial. I had been sending her 7 payments a month every month without fail. Rent, utilities, groceries, little extras. My bank account was more of a transfer hub than my own financial resource. She had become dependent, careless, and utterly blind to my sacrifices. I began quietly tracking every payment, every transaction, every favor she had taken for granted. And then I started asking myself, why am I letting her control my finances like this? Why am I silently tolerating disrespect at family events, at my own expense? The answer came slowly, but it came with clarity. This was my moment to take back power, to set boundaries, to deliver justice in a way she could understand, and in front of witnesses, no less. So, on Thanksgiving, when she made her snide remark, I didn't react with anger. Instead, I kept my composure. I let the silence stretch, let her words hang in the air like smoke, suffocating, intangible. As she basked in her perceived victory, I took a quiet action that would change everything. I canceled all 7 automatic payments I had been sending her every month. Not a warning, not a message, just silence. The financial lifeline she had taken for granted for years was gone. In a single invisible stroke, her phone buzzed mid-toast. A message from her bank, a notification she hadn't seen yet. Her face went pale as she opened it. "What the?" she muttered under her breath. Her smirk faltered. Confusion replaced confidence. I watched, calm as a winter morning, as she scrolled, frantically checking her accounts. My parents noticed the tension. My dad frowned. My mom looked concerned, but they didn't intervene. It wasn't their fight. And soon, everyone could feel it, the shift. The balance of power had quietly tilted. The thing about revenge is that it isn't just about the act itself, it's about the timing. I could have confronted her immediately, yelled, or demanded respect, but that would have been petty. This was about making her feel the consequences, letting her realize that her entitled behavior had limits. and letting it happen organically. As the afternoon progressed, the tension grew. She kept checking her phone, hoping the notifications were a mistake, but every alert confirmed it. The payments were gone, and unlike her usual manipulative tactics, she couldn't argue, couldn't guilt me, couldn't charm her way out. I had anticipated every possible reaction. Her frustration built into visible panic. Every glance she threw at me was sharp with suspicion. Every whispered conversation she tried to have with our parents fizzled because I was there, calm and collected, eyes locked on hers. The sweet, delicious irony was intoxicating. I could feel the heat rising in my chest, the subtle tremor of adrenaline mixed with satisfaction, the smell of roasted turkey, the crisp tang of cranberry sauce, the hum of conversation around the table. All of it became the backdrop to her unraveling. Her hands shook as she scrolled. I could see the tension in her jaw, the forced smiles, the tight nods she gave to our parents when they asked her something. Every inch of her posture screamed vulnerability, and the more she tried to regain control, the tighter the grip of embarrassment became. It was poetic. Every smile I had forced on her, every small kindness I had extended for years that she had exploited, came back in a single, silent act of empowerment. By the end of dinner, she was subdued. No dramatic outburst, no screaming, just the quiet, creeping awareness that she had overstepped and I had reclaimed my agency. I didn't gloat. I didn't rub it in. That wasn't necessary. Revenge is most satisfying when the other person understands it without you needing to explain. And as she silently packed up her things, checking her account one last time, I could see it. Humiliation, disbelief, and the sting of reality. For the first time, she realized that my generosity had limits, that respect is earned, not demanded, that every action has consequences, even those of entitlement and arrogance. Revenge isn't about cruelty, it's about justice, about reclaiming what's rightfully yours. That Thanksgiving, I didn't just cancel 7 payments, I canceled years of feeling powerless, dismissed and exploited. And in doing so, I reminded myself and everyone at that table that boundaries exist for a reason. Have you ever witnessed someone get the perfect comeuppance? Or maybe you've been the one to finally take a stand. Hit like, subscribe, and share this story. And in the comments, tell me what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen or taken. Because there's something universal about justice. And today, we got to feel it together.